What is going on, guys? We're back today, and you might be looking at your screen like, oh no, where did all his teams go? Are they gone? Or is the agency team builder? Did it get robbed? Don't worry, young viewer, don't worry. What we're going to be doing today, a little discussion video, I'm going to be talking about the best Pokemon in each typing in OU. I only really play OU, so I figured I'd just confine it to that, and some of these picks might surprise you. I wanted to make this fair, so I figured that I would take the offensive Mon and the defensive Mon. For example, for normal, we'll start with that right now. I'll tell you the offensive Mon is Obstagoon, and the defensive Mon would be Blissey. So I'm going to go through all of them because, you know, basically there's a Mon for every single typing that's actually pretty viable in OU, and I think that a lot of Mons are just good in this metagame. I think it's a lot of fun. So I figured this could be a good video talking about everything relevant in there, show you guys the best sets, what I think is worth using, what I don't think is worth using, and yeah, I mean, I just like making these competitive discussion videos. And yeah, I mean, I got the Pikalytics tab right here so we can look at all the stats. I got the viability rankings as well. And then, oh wait, what's the last thing I got? Of course, bro, a link to the agency store. What a transition, by the way. Yes, sir, guys, the Agency Vintage 2020 Pyramid campaign is back. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and showing support. I'm so happy we were finally able to drop this. If you didn't see my video yesterday with the details about that, go check that out. Also, I'm doing a giveaway on my Twitter. Go check that out. It's on my Twitter. It's like one of my most recent tweets. All you gotta do is follow me and retweet me. I'm picking 3 winners to win free merch, so you can get whatever you want here, whatever color hoodie, shirt, but you should probably pick the hoodie because that shit is more fire. But yup, $50 for the hoodie, $30 for the t-shirt. We were able to slash the prices. And also, if you are in America, shipping is free until the 21st, so go get that before stock is gone. We got the amazing Cherry Blossom colorway, like I said before, everybody's favorite. We got this is the Sasuke Uchiha fucking version, the fucking Naruto version, but whatever, and the Tsunami version. This is called the limited edition, but it's the Naruto one. But anyway, thank you guys for showing love. Go check that out, and let's get right back into it. So first, let's talk about the normal type Pokemon. So personally, I believe that Obstagoon is by far the best Pokemon offensively that takes use of its normal type. Now, defensively, we can put Blissey in next, but I'm going to stop right there because I want to highlight Obstagoon because it's a Pokemon that actually takes advantage of its normal typing, right? So Obstagoon, it really only has one set that I would consider worth using, and that is the Guts knockoff Facade set. This is fantastic coverage. Honestly, Facade is really dirty. I don't think you guys understand how strong this can be sometimes. And people always say, oh, this thing suffers strong competition from Urshifu or whatever, but I really don't think so. For one, Facade is very strong. It lets you destroy Buzzwole. If you knock off Buzzwole's heavy duty boots or whatever, after rocks, Obstagoon can easily 2-hit KO with Facade. Urshifu has to run Aerial Ace if it wants any chance at defeating Buzzwole. Obstagoon is also able to take care of Clefable way easier. You know, it doesn't have to click Poison Jab. It can just go for Facade. So I really think Obstagoon's Dual Stab, Knockoff, and Facade is really nice. You really don't have to range it up past that. Urshifu definitely needs its coverage move of Poison Jab or Iron Head. And I'm not saying that, you know, oh, Obstagoon's better or anything like that, but I'm saying they definitely have their own purpose. I really don't like it when people say there's no point using Obstagoon when Urshifu exists. Urshifu is just easier to use, but Obstagoon's not bad. It has a lot of different tools. Parting Shot is another tool that's great, and it has access to what? Switcheroo, which lets you give the Flame Orb to anything. I've honestly been toying around with Obstagoon to find the best set, and I don't know if I really like Switcheroo that much. I think Switcheroo Bulk Up could have potential, but even Bulk Up Obstagoon, I find myself getting scared out and not really sweeping as much as I'd want to. So there's a couple of options you could run. You could run Bulk Up Lash, you could run Close Combat, but this is really the set I usually go with. I've seen Obstruct as well. If you guys don't know what Obstruct does, it's basically if the opponent tries to hit you with a contact move like U-turn or something, then they take a -2 defense. So it's almost like an inverse Swords Dance. It's kind of weird. I've only seen it a couple times in lower tiers, not even OU, but yeah, in terms of Obstagoon, it does have a lot of cool tricks. Close Combat, again, is another good option if you want to be able to hit Ferrothorn, Steel types, all that good stuff. Maybe 2-hit KO Magearna after rocks. But this thing is definitely not weak. I know 90 base attack and 95 speed, it's like, dude, what? But it's really, I think this is an underrated mod. And of course, we got to take in mind the normal dark typing. It's able to switch into the ghost type attacks with ease, able to switch into dark type attacks as well. Its defenses are actually pretty underrated. 93 HP, 101 defense, 81 SPDF. I mean, what more can you ask for? These are really decent stats for a offensive mon, especially some mon that's stuck in RU. But yeah, if we look at the analytics, or what's it called? We look at the viability rankings. You can honestly look through these mons and see a lot of them have trouble switching into Obstagoon. Look at this. Clefable gets hit with Facade. Magearna to hit KO'd by close combat after rocks. Hopefully, Ferrothorn you can close combat. Garchomp is a little bit annoying just because of the rocky helmet, but you can still take care of it with Facade. Heatran you taken care of. Melmetal to hit KO'd by close combat. Slowbro, Spectre taken care of. Pex taken care of. Urshifu beats you. But yeah, you go through it and you can see that, oh wow, Mons really can't switch into this guy. So yeah, underrated Mon. I mean, Guts Flame Orb is like a tried and true classic combo. It really turns any Mon pretty scary. So yeah, definitely use Obstagoon if you haven't already. True agency pick. And you guys know that I've used this thing and made it the star of so many videos. One of my absolute favorites. But yeah, definitely recommend using Obstagoon. Now, we do got to talk about Blissey, just because that is the defensive normal type. That is the pure normal type, and it definitely has a higher usage than Obstagoon in this metagame. So Blissey really only runs heavy duty boots, natural cure, soft boiled, seismic toss, and then you have a whole bunch of options. You can run stealth rock, you can run toxic, you could run thunder wave, you can run wish, you can run teleport. A lot of people like teleport. I honestly feel like I see this set the most. Soft boiled, seismic toss, toxic, teleport. I feel like Blissey, it's oftentimes used with Clefable or another Mon that'll run aromatherapy or something. I haven't seen Heal Bell Blissey as much, but I've definitely seen teleport a lot. You can't run wish plus teleport. I believe it's illegal. Right? I think it is. Whatever, I'm not even going to verify it. I haven't ran it before. But I will say that I've ran into Wish Blissey with heavy duty boots, and that's very annoying because in combination with Stall, it's able to heal up Landorus T, Heatran, all the stuff that would want to come in. Blissey plus Landorus T is very, very hard because the Blissey kept on wishing and passing a Landorus T and recovering its entire HP. But yeah, this is a set everybody likes to run. It's really just annoying. It's a bulky Mon. It sticks around very nicely. Heavy duty boots has basically knocked Chansey out of commission completely. And that's pretty admirable from Blissey. I ain't even gonna lie. That's a pretty insurmountable. I mean, that's just a crazy thing to do, because think about it. Chansey had the game on lock 5, 6, and 7. You didn't even see Blissey in Gen 5, 6, and 7 OU. And then all of a sudden, bam, Chansey is like pretty gone, and people just want to use Blissey. I think it's cool though. It's interesting how heavy duty boots was able to outclass an item that used to that still boosts defenses by 1.5, but that hazard shit, you know, it stacks up. But anyway, that's what we're going with for normal guys, Obstagoon and Blissey. So, I told you, you might not agree, but hey, maybe you will. Let's move on. Fighting type. Now, I'm not even going to beat around the bush with this. There's only one Mon that we can really consider to be the best fighting type, and it's Urshifu. It's really Urshifu. Look, if you go through the fighting types in OU, there really are not a lot that can compare to this guy. Buzzwole, who really just runs a defensive set. Hawlucha, who, you know, that's an SD sweeper, but he has to have so much go right for him. And honestly, Hawlucha, I don't think it's that great in this metagame. And then there's Urshifu Rapid Strike, which isn't as good as regular Urshifu. And then you go down to lower tiers and you got some bullshit. So anyway, it's definitely Urshifu. Now, I've said this many times, when it comes to Urshifu, I don't like fucking around. I think you run either Choice Band, Life Orb, or Black Glasses. Choice Band is personally my favorite set because the drawbacks like really don't exist. And this thing is able to one-hit KO so many Mons with decent defenses and HP. For example, a Mon like Rillaboom, which has what, 100 HP and 90 defense. That's really good for a defensive Pokemon. Urshifu fucking one-hit KOs it with Wicked Blow. So yeah, Urshifu is just a very, very hard Pokemon to beat. Sits at a great speed stat of 97, outspeeding the 95s and all that stuff. Spadef is bad, but the HP and Fizdef are pretty good. And of course, its attack is sky high. Wicked Blow turns it into the most demonic wall breaker ever. And even offense has nothing to really switch into this thing. Sucker Punch lets it get Mind Games. Don't forget Unseen Fist lets this thing go through Protect. You guys know my opinion on this version of Urshifu. The Fighting Dark version, I think this thing's broken, and it takes no skill. However, it is the easiest fighting type to use, and it's the best one. Other than Choice Band, I can recommend Life Orb. I believe I ran this set on that Hyper Offense. Bengay passed me. That was decent. I've seen a lot of people running Bulk Up Black Glasses. They run it like this. But I do really like having Poison Jab nowadays on my Urshifu. That is the one thing I have thought about. I really do like being able to switch up and go for Poison Jab. Clefable's usage is really, really high. So if it was up to me, I would honestly be running either just Banded for attack like this, or Life Orb or Black Glasses. Bulk Up is still really, really good though, because it's able to set up on stuff like Landorus so easily thanks to its defense. It's just a matter of what move do you want to forgo. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen people forgo like close combat, right? This is the set Storm Zone popularized that people were using a lot. They just forgo like close combat completely. But yeah, Urshifu is by far the best dark type. You really can't compare anything to it in terms of dark type Pokemon. I mean, sorry, fighting type Pokemon. The only guy close was Pheromosa. The only guy close was Pheromosa. And Pheromosa has unfortunately been banned. Honestly, I would argue that Urshifu is a better dark type than it is fighting type because it's most likely spamming Wicked Blow. And Pheromosa was a superior fighting type because that shit was just firing off close combats, snowballing +1. So honorable mention, Pheromosa would have been the true fighting type pick, but he got banned before I could do the video. So that's going to be the fighting type Pokemon. Clean, quick, to the point. Urshifu. I really don't think there's much to debate on that. Now let's get into flying type. Now, flying type, I had two guys in mind. However, I got to talk about the number one guy. His usage has been at the top. Y'all know his name. Landorus Therian with disgusting usage right here. Look at this monster. Yes, Landorus T is the best flying type. Now you might be thinking, why not the best ground type? Well, he is a good ground type as well. But I gotta say his flying type attributes, and I know he's not using fly or anything like that, but the fact that he's a flying type with intimidate is very good. Landorus T is the number one mon to beat ground types. It's been that way for the last whatever 4 generations. Yeah, and it's gonna stick that way with this generation too. It's the best mon to switch into Landorus T opposing ones. It switches into all opposing Landorus T, Excadrill, Garchomp, etc. I mean, I go through my builder. You guys can see I've been using Landorus T quite heavily lately. I like to run a defensive set like this these days with Toxic to hit the other Landorus and then knock off to make sure that Ferrothorn and stuff like that doesn't just annoy you forever. But yeah, Landorus T has become a very nice pivot. I know it's annoying that stuff like Urshifu is able to circumvent, but I have really not had much of a problem using Urshifu. It has so many viable sets. Scarf, defensive, offensive, sub, like it's crazy. Not to mention the Sash set as well. This is just a basic Rocky Helmet set, and this set has done me a lot of good. It's what's it called? It's a convincing mon and it's a consistent mon. Again, Custat Berry, 3 attack, offensive. We had so much room to do whatever we want with Landorus, and that's really why I think so. And so you might be thinking, again, it doesn't use any flying type moves. It's not like it uses fly or anything like that. But again, the fact that it is a ground immunity is really just a big deal. That flying type plus intimidate is really nice. This thing's immunities are just good. It doesn't care about that 4 times ice or anything like that. What I'm saying is the flying type doesn't do it any disservices. It's still able to tank all of the fighting type moves now, and it's nice. It becomes a bug resist. It cock blocks U-turn. Like, this thing was the number one switch into Pheromosa if you could outpredict the ice move. I know that's a bad thing to say, but hey, that was the truth. But in terms of Landorus T, you guys saw the sets I like. Personally, I think Rocky Helmet is a good item. I think Custat Berry offensive is a good item, and of course there's a Choice Scarf set. When it comes to EVs, you can go pause my video and go back if you really want to steal them. But yeah, on defensive, I like going up to 255 speed these days. I believe that beats Modest Heatran and Timid Magearna, and there's some other shit, but I think this is mainly just for Modest Heatran. And yeah, you still retain a decent amount of bulk, so I'm not too worried. I like Landorus too with Wish support too, and I really do like Scarf as well. I think Scarf still just has a nice spot in the metagame. You see a lot of people running flying type Pokemon like Thundurus, Tornadus, Moltres, Zapdos, shit like that, because they think with heavy duty boots it's like the most broken mon ever. So it's kind of nice to run Scarf, Stone Edge, Landorus, because they always think, oh, I'll just switch in on the U-turn, and they get popped. But yeah, Landorus T, great mon, and in my opinion the best flying type. Honorable mentions goes to Zapdos, and the only reason I'm not going to be putting Zapdos here, because he's in a fantastic flying type with Hurricane, don't get me wrong, insane, and he honestly uses the flying type move more. But the only reason I didn't put Zapdos is because he had to win electric. So Landorus T is going to win it for flying. But yeah, so far you can see from the 4 Pokemon we have here, pretty standard picks with the exception of Obstagoon. But let's keep going. So here we got Poison. Now, when I think of Poison, I want to think of a Pokemon that takes advantage of its poison attributes. So of course the first guy I got to think of is the one I've been talking about all the time, really. The one I've been talking about all month, last month too. My boy Nidoking. This thing is crazy. It's basically revealed itself to be a top OU threat, which I think is fantastic. Nidoking has never been as popular in OU as it is right now, and that's amazing. It was top 20 in usage, which I would have never predicted in any form of OU that Nidoking, when Pheromosa or Shifu, shit like that's in the tier. This mon that used to be UU in the previous gens is now like very solidly an OU Pokemon. Like, if we go through usage here, I want to see what Nidoking's usage is. 9.39% on the 1695 plus OU ladder. That's crazy. It's like 1 in 10 teams. But yeah, so when it comes to Nidoking, I believe that this is the best set. You gotta have Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and then the last move. So when I was running it on that offense team, my buddy Bengay hit me with, I ran this set. Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Taunt, Flamethrower because you want to be able to hit Corviknight, and Ferrothorn for the 2-hit KO and 1-hit KO respectively. Honestly, I didn't miss Ice Beam that much just because you're able to still snipe Landorus T very hard with Flamethrower, and then Garchomp you can hit with Earth Power. But I do miss the ability to 1-hit KO. That is a pretty underrated aspect. Now, when I ran this set, I was actually running Modest because I'm greedy for power. However, you do miss out on some shit. You miss out on the ability to speed tie Jolly Rillaboom, and you also will end up speed tying Adamant Rillaboom with this. You will get outsped by Timid Heatran. So Modest is honestly a really greedy pick. I think Timid is overall more consistent, but hey, I have used Modest in my videos before, so I mean, if you about the power, go for it. But yeah, other than Taunt, you can of course run Ice Beam. I've seen quite a few people running Stealth Rock as well, just because Nidoking is pretty good at getting up Stealth Rock. I mean, if you go through the Mons in the tier, it's no surprise Nidoking is so scary. I mean, look at the two dudes in S rank; they both get completely slaughtered by Nidoking. He switches into them and slaughters them. It's awesome. You look at A+ rank. This is something I said before. Nidoking is honestly even a candidate for best ground type, just because, I mean, like, nothing switches into ground in OU to begin with, and Earth Power is so strong. Like, look at this. They all get fucked up. Blissey is, like, the only switch into this guy, in my opinion, so that's why Taunt plus Modest Sludge Wave was cool, because you, like, 4-hit KO Blissey, which is really, really crazy. Nidoking is really strong. Again, Blissey's not Chansey, right? When you use the heavy-duty boots, you forgo that extra Spadef. But yeah, you can run Stealth Rock. You can even run T-Spikes if you want. But yeah, and then the other Nidoking I like quite a bit is the Choice Scarf set. You guys know that I've been using that a lot in my videos lately. Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and I believe the last one was Ice Beam. And yeah, this set is just epic. I loved using this set. It's just really good at revenge killing things. It still retains quite a decent amount of power thanks to Sheer Force. I know the special attack looks pretty mediocre when you just look at it and it says 269, but no, it's not bad. And the coverage is awesome, right? T-Bolt lets you hit the water types. What's it called? Ice Beam, you know, lets you snipe Garchomps, shit like that. Really have had no problem with Scarf Nidoking, and I've honestly almost liked it just as much as Life Orb, if not even more. So yeah, I think both those sets are equally good with Nidoking. People gotta put respect on Scarf. I think part of Scarf is that it's what's it called? I think part of the fact with Scarf, what was I trying to say? Is that the surprise factor is big, and so once that catches on, I think it'll be harder for people to pull it off, but I don't know. It's really good. I feel like I have not really ran into any problems whatsoever when I use Scarf. I feel like it always pulls its weight, even versus fatter teams. Even versus stall teams, I feel like I can put myself in a situation to get even my Scarf knocked off. But let's go to ground type. Now, this is funny, because the mon I'm about to put is a mon I did not use too much in Gen 7. It's Agent Garchomp, bro. Now, Garchomp has become really, really good in my opinion. I think it's one of the best mons in the metagame, especially in this transition of the OU metagame. Garchomp is just really, really solid. If I go through my teams and I look at what I've been using with Garchomp, the best set is definitely Stealth Rock, Swords Dance, 2 attack. Now, this set has some interesting stuff. Stomping Tantrum, Stone Edge, and Leftovers, but that's because it's on a Rillaboom team. The set I've been using more so has got to be Scale Shot. This one I've had a blast with as well. Bandit Scale Shot. My boy Gene put me onto this. This set is honestly underrated too. It's pretty crazy. You'd never expect this. I played against a guy and he had a Fizdef Garchomp against my Garchomp, and he stayed in against me, right? Because normally Garchomp wouldn't be able to do anything. But I went for Bandit Scale Shot, got 4 hits and knocked him out. It was hilarious. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of different ways to go with Garchomp. However, I do believe that the best way to do Chomp is just to go with Stealth Rock, Swords Dance, or Swords Dance Scale Shot, 3 attack, max speed, max attack. This is an example of the set I was having a lot of luck with. Just SD, Stealth Rock, Scale Shot, Earthquake, Classic, just rocking the dual stab. Lumberry to make sure you don't get statused by, anything annoying like Scalds, Lava Plumes, Stray, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp. And this set is really, really hard to beat. With Scale Shot, it makes for really nice mind games, right? Because Scale Shot is upping this guy's speed. So you got to pick the right switch in. Well, what can switch into Scale Shot? Only Fairy types. However, Fairy types be getting fucked up by Earthquake. Clefable, Magearna, Tapu Fini, they all get hit very hard by +2 Earthquake. So it's just a matter of time before Garchomp gets it in motion. And I really think Garchomp has become such a scary sweeper. You got to switch out versus this thing too. A lot of the time, it's really good at forcing mons out. I feel like whenever I have this set and I run into an electric type, I just start salivating because I know they're going to get so scared of the Garchomp. And every time Garchomp comes in an SDs, you got to put some respect on his name. Like, the Scale Shot really is the new Dragon Dance, if we're being honest, because Garchomp is so damn easy to click SD with Garchomp. Tell me Garchomp Garchomp isn't the easiest Pokemon ever to get up a Swords Dance with. It's so bulky, it's so fast, and it scares out a lot of stuff. Like, Garchomp has always been the quintessential, quote-unquote, like, perfect Pokemon because its stats are fucking sky high, its typing is insane, and its moves are crazy. Like, Garchomp has always been, like, the chosen one, in a sense. But nowadays, it's really, really good. I really fuck with the Scale Shot set the most. But Swords Dance, Stealth Rock, you can run Scale Shot. This is the set I ran in Rain, by the way, when I was running that JT Rain. This was a very strong set, unwallable, really. And I think I had weakness policy for fucking Clefable, Moonblast, but you can run Lumberry, Life Orb, all types of shit. And then, of course, you can run Stealth Rock. Stone Edge allows you to hit Moltres and Zapdos without relying on Scale Shot. But yeah, Garchomp all around, very, very good in this metagame. Highly recommend you guys use him if you have not already, and I'm sure you have. I mean, Scale Shot is like, everyone was like, oh shit, Scale Shot, the new DD, and for good reason. But yeah, we got 3 ground types right here dominating the Flying, Poison, and Ground. I know that's pretty funny. I mean, I guess I could give the runner-up to Toxapex in terms of poison type, because defensively he does make use of his poison typing, but it's kind of like an obvious one. We can go with Leftovers for Pex, even though Shed Shell is still a decent item as well, and Rocky Helmet is also really, really good because there's a lot of stuff just you turning around. It was better in the Mosa metagame, but it's still really good for Urshifu. But yeah, honestly, you just run Scald, Knockoff, Recover, Haze. You have to run Haze, in my opinion. Don't forgo Haze. Motherfuckers love to not use Haze, but then they run into me setting up on my Volcarona and they lose, right? I would always rock Haze. People like this set as well. They like to just forgo Scald sometimes because Knockoff is just so broken, and then sometimes I see T-Spikes as well. But Toxapex is tried and true. He walls quite a few mons in the metagame. I do think with Pheromosa's removal, Pex gets worse. Pex was the best because it was able to fuck around with Pheromosa, but now that Pheromosa's banned, I feel like people will start using other stuff, and you got to keep in mind stuff like Spectre, Urshifu, Garchomp, Magearna, they all destroy Pex with the right set. They're not like Mosa, who has to run Drill Run, which still doesn't even beat Pex. So yeah, but when it comes down to it, I'd say Pex is definitely even in terms of poison, because it actually makes use of its poison typing very well. It's like the premier fighting type resist alongside Landorus T. Ground, I'm not going to give an honorable mention to Excadrill. Excadrill is not on the same plane as Garchomp. Excadrill needs quite a bit more support. It's a good Pokemon, but it's not Garchomp. Garchomp is just that dude when it comes to this type of shit. When it comes to being a ground type, even I want to give a shout out to the Rocky Helmet set, because that set is not bad whatsoever. I saw this shit. This is what someone was running versus me. I kind of hate that it's walled by Clefable, but I mean, it was walled by Clefable in 6 and 7 too. What he's supposed to do. This is just a good mon at giving the chip. My boy Mimo was running Endure, I think. He was running some shit like this. And this basically destroys Urshifu, because if they Wicked Blow and then choose to stay in, they have to hit you 3 times. And then they take Rough Skin plus Helmet 3 times, which is what? 1/8 plus 1/6 is like 28%, I want to say. Might even be more. I think it's like 29 point something. So yeah, that times 3, you do the math, you're basically at like 8-9% left with your Urshifu. You're fucked. And that too, if you got to be able to a KO, so you need to have a Life Orb or Band, so you lose. Basically what I'm saying is you lose. Helmet Chomp is very, very good. But let's move on. Next we have Rock. Now when it comes to Rock type Pokemon, there's not that many. Like, look, you go through this and really you don't really see anybody until you get to the Dawn Tyranitar. Now, Tyranitar, he's really gone through it. He's really gone through it in the Sword and Shield metagame, people. You know, the agency tried to take care of my boy. We really did. Me and Joey even tried to make that boy OU and save him from UU. I mean, shit, was I supposed to draw merch and put Tyranitar's face on the latest agency merch? Like, what was I supposed to do? But fortunately, he's back to OU. I'm happy about it, and he's very good. I really didn't like T-Tar last, like 6 months ago. And in the BL Knights era, I didn't think it was very good at all. But now, T-Tar has really established its place in the metagame. When it comes to Tyranitar, I really only like to use the Stealth Rock set. You can run an offensive set, you can run Choice Band or something like that, but I have really only found luck with Stealth Rock. This is the set I run the most. Stealth Rock, Leftovers, Ice Beam, Rock Blast, Thunder Wave, Spadef. I really just found this to be the best. It walls Spectre for days. Rock Blast goes through the sub. It's one of the rockers that's able to completely destroy Moltres and Zapdos. And then Thunder Wave just makes it so it's not a sitting duck. You know, Rock Blast and Ice Beam are only really there to hit their exact targets. You know, you're not going to be staying in versus a Ferrothorn or like any fighting type and clicking Rock Blast or Ice Beam. That's useless, but hopefully you can Thunder Wave them on the switch is the point. So I think this set is really good support wise. I don't really understand the point of running Banded. I'm sure it's scary, but I mean, Urshifu, Why would you want to run Banded, Crunch, and Stone Edge, the move that misses everything, when you could just run Urshifu going for a Wicked Blow and Close Combat? Like, it just seems completely unnecessary and not worth even entertaining Choice Band Tyranitar to me. But yeah, when it comes down to it, like I said, defensive Tyranitar. See, this is look, this is basically the same set. Stone Edge instead of Rock Blast, still full Spadef, and this guy was running heavy duty boots. I remember this team was passed to me like the first week of Sword and Shield. So this set has definitely come to be like the most consistent one. And Ice Beam is really good because you're able to hit Landorus on the switch, and that's pretty nice because Landorus loves to defog, it loves to switch into Tyranitar, trade rocks, whatever the case is. You can just stay in, live Earthquake if you really want to. Ice Beam, get rid of that. And like I said, Thunder Wave makes it so this guy's never useless. He's always able to provide some support. So Tyranitar is really good right now. Like I said, Spadef version is my favorite. I don't think it's really worth going with an offensive take, really. Yeah, honestly, guys, I think you're better off going with this set. But let's keep going. Next, we have the Ghost type. Now, Ghost, if you asked me at any point in this metagame before, what's this called? Crown Tundra, right? If you asked me anytime before this, Clown Tundra, I would have told you, what's it called? Dragapult. Flying Colors, 40% usage. That motherfucker was a demon. He used to have 40% usage. But now it's no contest, baby. It's Spectrier, bro. My boy Dragapult had like, what was his usage? Oh my god, what was his use? I know his usage was like garbage. 6.66, devilish. That's scary. But yeah, he had 6.66% usage, garbage. He used to have 40. Meanwhile, Spectrier is cooling with what? How much? 15? 15.92. Yeah, so Spectrier is by far the best Ghost type. It only uses Ghost moves, but it's absolutely a GOAT. So first, I'm going to give a shout out to Specs and Scarf because those are what I consider to be the most immediately threatening sets. Running Shadow Ball, Mudshot, Hex, and then some men's be running Hyper Beam. I think those people are very crazy. You can run Dark Pulse as well. I don't really think Dark Pulse is that good on Specs. I really think you just run Will-O-Wisp. I think this is the best set, personally. Will-O-Wisp lets you hit Mandibuzz, T-Tar, shit like that, and then you're able to click Hex freely, and Specs Hex does like 40+% to Mandibuzz plus burn. Like, Mandibuzz gets completely if you Hex Mandibuzz, it immediately loses Spectrier. Like, there's no contest. But yeah, Mudshot lets you hit T-Tar, and it lets you hit Tran. It's just a coverage move, right? It's not like this shit has many options. And that's just on Specs or Scarf. Now, the other set people like to use a lot is the Substitute set, and I find that set to be very, very dangerous as well. So this is a Scarf I was running. Hex Haze, that one's crazy. I want to look if I have any with the defensive set. Yeah, so this was Sub CM, Max HP. You guys saw when I used this team, this did quite a bit of work. It actually has a decent HP and a decent Spadef. Its Phys Def's pretty ass, but 100 HP is good. And the speed is very high too. So I was able to sub Calm Mind and set up on quite a few things like Toxapex. I was able to Will-O-Wisp it on the Switch, set up on its knockoff. Stuff like Slowbro, Slowking, shit like that. And you can even run Nasty Plot too. But yeah, I think this set is very, very good and underrated. And I mean, it's not even underrated. People love using Substitute Spectrier. It's a lot harder to deal with than Specs, they're realizing. Because sometimes if you run into like a Blissey or some shit and you have Specs, you're fucked. Like, you're not doing anything. But Substitute can always troll around versus any team, even with like whatever tools they have. Like, it can be really annoying. But in some regards, what's it called? Nasty Plot or Calm Mind also is not too good. Like, I've ran into Tapu Fini plus T-Tar, and that has always destroyed my Spectrier, where Specs would have been easier because I got it chipped harder with Mudshot perhaps, but whatever. It's give and take. So moving on from Spectrier, we got to get to Bug. Now, Bug, it would have been Mosa, right? But Mosa, RIP, he's out of here, so we got to give it to my boy Volk. Now, Volk has honestly gotten worse, right? Because Heatran's here now. If we go to the usage, I want to see how many people use Volk. I want to see this guy's usage. I'm actually quite curious. Who's out here using Volk? Yo, where's this guy's usage at? I probably skipped over it. Is he UU? Oh my god, what the hell? My boy went to UU? No! Ridiculous. 2% usage for Volk. Shameful. We see Quiver Dance, Psychic, Roost, Fiery Dance as the most used moves. Then I see Bug Buzz, Flamethrower, Giga Drain, Fire Blast. It's honestly pretty close. Quiver Dance is used on all of them. Psychic on 60%, Roost on 55%, Fiery Dance on 52%, and then Bug Buzz on 43%. So, I mean, just some numbers. Honestly, doesn't mean too much. If we're looking at it, though, what we can decipher from this is that everybody's using Setup. Obviously, there's no other reason to use this piece of shit. Everybody's using Boots, too. 87% use Boots, and then a few jackasses use Life Orb because they're way too greedy. But Quiver Dance, and then I think Psychic you gotta run just because you're able to one-hit KO, or not one-hit KO, you're able to just deal with Pex. If you don't have Psychic, you can't deal with Pex unless you run Safeguard and you lose to Haze. I don't understand the point when Pex is such a prominent mon in the metagame to forgo Psychic. But I do think that Dark types, especially Tyranitar, be in this bitch a lot, so I do like using Bug Buzz too. Fire Dance is what people like because they're able to get the +1 special attack. I agree, it's great. You run Fire Blast or Flamethrower too. I know Flamethrower sometimes has a difference in power, but I really don't see it. Like, I know it's a 10 pace power extra, but I feel like you want the +1 from Fire Dance. And then Roost is what everybody loves, right? When they run that defensive max HP, just a little speed or whatever, what they run, like 280 speed, right? 279 for that stupid. The thing is, your speed for Heatran or whatever doesn't even matter because you can't beat Heatran with Volk, right? Taunt Heatran will always fuck Volcarona. There's nothing it can do. Like, that safeguard shit is bad. I don't like safeguard Volk. I'm still gonna give it a shout out because people really like running safeguard Volk, but I don't like it too much. I personally prefer Psychic, Fire Move, and then yeah, Roost to keep up the defensive capabilities. One of the best parts about Volk was that defensively it was able to check Pheromosa, but it's still decently good. Like, you can check Melmetal and shit like that, but it's still not that bulky. But yeah, Volk isn't even that great in the metagame, but bugs aren't really too up with Mosa's recent ban, so you gotta live with what we have. But I mean, that being said, Volk is still a big threat, and even some teams with Heatran will lose to Volk, right? If you get your Heatran knocked off, you lose your leftovers, then you know you're on a fucking timer until Volcarona sweeps you. You know Volcarona will beat you as long as the opponent just plays patient. But let's move on to Steel. Now, we had a ton of different options for Steels, right? There's like, you look at Steel type, right? And there's a bunch of different guys. Wait, what? No, bro. OU. And then Steel type, bro, not Steel X. So you look at OU and look, we have a bunch of different types. We got Corv, Drill, like, look at all this. Like, there's so many different guys. We got Past Ubers and Melmetal and Magearna. And it's like, damn, who are we going to pick as the best? Who is really the best Steel type? And if you ask me, honestly, the best Steel type is Magearna. The best Steel type is Magearna. Now, Magearna is more balanced in this metagame, as for show, but I do think that this thing down the line will reveal itself to be broken. Magearna, in my opinion, this thing is definitely still one of the top members of the metagame. You look at the sets that are viable on this thing. I believe Choice is the best. This is a goofy ass set we ran called Mind Volt Switch. I'm not even gonna really highlight that set, but yes, the choiced sets are what people seem to like the most. Choice Scarf is kind of a fun new set that's been picking up because it sits at a good speed tier, I believe 376. So yeah, it hits a decent speed tier. It's able to outspeed Tornadus, T, and shit like that. And just in general, it's bulky enough to switch into stuff like Urshifu. It can revenge kill Garchomp because you can actually switch into Scale Shot. And, you know, it's a little unexpected still. Again, we always got to talk about Specs because that's a set that, in my opinion, is the most broken on Mag. This is the Scarf one I had, but it used to be Specs. But yeah, if we look at Mag and I think about, like, the best Mag set, it's definitely Specs to me. Yeah, like this one. I got to top 10 on the ladder with this because it was just so simple clicking Flare Cannon, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch. And if you tech Focus Blast on Magearna, it's literally broken. Like, it's broken because you can just get through the Excadrills, the Ferrothorns, the Heatrans as long as you hit. It's very, very hard. And Heatrans these days aren't running full Spadef, right? They run more of a max HP mixed-ish build. They're not really going full Spadef calm, so that Focus Blast fucking destroys them. So yeah, that being said, I do consider Magearna to be the strongest Steel type, right? There are other Steel type Pokemon, like I said, but I think Mag is the strongest one when it comes down to it. It also takes advantage of its Steel defensive typing and also with Flash Cannon. Soul Heart ability, busted. Like I said, Choice Specs and Choice Scarf are my favorite set, but of course there are different ways. You can run Shuka Berry, you can run Leftovers, you can run, I've seen Akaberry too. There's so many different options you can run item-wise on. Let me look at it. You got the Guava Berry. That only restores 33% now, so it's not as good. You can run Assault Vest, but I personally don't use Assault Vest too much. It's not bad, though. It's honestly decent. But yeah, other than that, like, really not too many items worth using on this shit. And then stats-wise, you just go max special attack, find the speed you want to do. I will talk about Shift Gear, but I honestly don't even think Shift Gear is that good. Like, I honestly feel like people always have some shit to deal with you. Plus, the recent rise of Slowking has made Shift Gear a complete headache to run. Because Slowking Galarian, because that shit just comes in, beats you with Flamethrower, you can't chip it no matter what. I honestly just like running Choice Scarf or Choice Specs and then having the Flash Cannon and Volt Switch option in front of me. Like, I think that's the best part. But yeah, Magearna, fantastic. Now we go to Fire type. Let's just get it out the way, bro. It's our boy Heatran. Who else would it be? Who else would it be, guys? Who else could it possibly be? That's Agent Heatran. This shit is busted. Heatran's one of the best mons ever. I'm so happy he's finally back, and he's putting in work, bro. He's putting in his work. let's talk about Heatran. First off, let's go with the number 1 set, right? The Magma Storm set. This is what everybody and their mom is using. Nobody can stop using this. You see Taunt Last, sometimes you see Protect, sometimes you see Taunt Protect. Like, yeah, this is basically the set you see the most. Speed wise, I just be going max speed most of the time with Timid. I like it like that, but I mean, we can see what Heatrans I've used in video. Yep, so here I have max special attack, max speed, air balloon, so that's a little twist. Here I believe I had a little mixed set, but again, similar, protect, toxic, right? So, but then here I had the offensive one, Scarf. Don't sleep on Specs and Scarf Heatran, guys. These are very good, and you don't just need to use them on Sun teams. I do think Scarf, Heatran with Eruption, and Specs are just underrated, because Eruption's one of those moves where it's a broken move. You should use mons with broken moves. I know it sounds like stupid to say that, but it's true. Why do you think Urshifu was so good? Because Wicked Blow is a no drawback move. Similarly, Eruption is close to no drawback. I'm not saying it's the same, because it's not. When you lose your HP and shit like that, it's obviously compromised. But I do think that Heatran will surprise some of you on an offensive team, and it's just honestly very, very strong. But for the most part, yeah, I just be running this Magma Protect set, and I always run max speed Timid. So in my opinion, go with the speed, go with Timid. You can run defense, and I am yet to try a fully Spadef set with Magma Toxic Taunt. I think that a fully Spadef set with Magma Storm Protect probably beats Tapu Fini and shit. Even with Scald, like I bet Tapu Fini does like 20%. The normal version, max speed, takes like 40. So that is something to keep in mind. So there is like an argument to using Spadef EVs on Heatran. I just like running my speed. And now we're at water, right? Now if we're seriously being real about the water type in OU, we have quite a few, right? We really have quite a few, and they all do different things. You got Barraskewda, who's an offensive guy, right? Only seen on Rain. You got Pelipper, who basically keeps Rain together, and I would argue that Rain is the strongest it's ever been in OU. You got Swampert and Slowbro, right? Your Fizz-Def guys, but even Swampert runs a Spadef set these days. Everybody and their mom likes Slowbro, but I would honestly cross out Slowbro because I would argue that people prefer Slowbro for his Psychic type. But yeah, you got Swampert, who everyone loves to use right now with the Stealth Rock. Tapu Fini with its Calm Mind Taunt set, just very, very demonic. Toxapex, I mean, hey, that's the number 1 wall. And then Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is very good too. But guys, when we look through this, I gotta cross out a few because we can only pick 1 or 2 max. And when it comes to the guys that are doing it because of the water typing, I'm gonna have to give it to most likely Tapu Fini number 1, because Tapu Fini is slowly starting to rise up in usage. And it's probably just going to become the best water type. I honestly find it to be more threatening than Pex right now with that Taunt Calm mindset. I feel like that's able to sweep so much stuff. And if you guys haven't noticed, Dragons are back on top. You got Garchomp back at the top. I mean, I think Sub CM Taunt is just really... Not Sub CM, sorry. Taunt CM is just really, really good. You can run Scald or Surf, whatever. And then Draining Kiss last. I find this to be the best because it's just a lot of times offense teams are not able to deal with this menace. Let me show you one of my favorite offense teams. This shit is actually weak to Tapu Fini. And it might not look that way, like, oh, I got Coco, I got Nidoking, all that shit. But no, bro, that shit is a threat because of Draining Kiss. Urshifu, it gives it a free switch in. Landorus, Latias, keep in mind, all these guys give it a free moves to Calm Mind and start Draining Kissing. Coco Specs, it's nerfed. It doesn't really do too much. I remember I played against a Calm Mind Tapu Fini, and he went for he had a +1 Calm Mind. My T-Ball did only like 60%. And he Draining Kissed 50% to my Coco, and he recovered like all of his HP, and I lost my Coco 1v1, even though it's Specs, just to a +1 what's it called, Tapu Fini. So Tapu Fini is really, really good with that sub Calm mindset. I mean, not sub Calm Mind, Taunt Calm Mind. You gotta run Taunt Calm Mind because it helps you versus Pex. I feel like this is basically the reason everybody and their mom runs knockoff Pex now, and even some I've seen Poison Jab Pex. So Fini is just really, really nasty. I really love running this thing, just simply with leftovers, Taunt Calm Mind, but you can always run Defog too. And if I have to give a special shout out to somebody, I'm honestly not going to say Swampert because Swampert's good, but I don't think it's like such a metagame beastly mon that it's like the best water type or any shit like that. Is good, don't get me wrong, but no. The only guy I'd give a special shout out to is Pex, seriously, for its water typing, because it is the #1 switch into still like fire types, ice types, shit like that. Like, it's just a catch-all a lot of the times. So I'm going to have to give the honorable mention to Pex when it comes to the water typing. I really don't think I can give it to anybody else, but let's keep it moving. But let's keep it pushing. I really wanted to highlight Tapu Fini with that because you guys know what Pex does. It'd be kind of lame to put Pex for everything, right? Grass. Now, grass types, I do have 2 for this. Now, the #1 offensive grass type is unfortunately cheap Rillaboom. I say unfortunately because, of course, Rillaboom is one of those Pokemons everybody and their mom hates running into Rillaboom. It just feels like when you lose to Rillaboom, tell me you feel good. Tell me you feel, damn, I honestly lost to Rillaboom and I got outplayed. No, you're mad. I know your reaction. God damn it, fucking Grassy Glide feels like it's 20 turns long. How the hell can they give it priority? That's how you feel. That's how I feel. That's how everybody feels. Rillaboom, number 1 set. Let's just keep it a buck. It's Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer. And then honestly, I like Superpower and U-Turn, but Knockoff is kind of cool for Zapdos. But I like Superpower because you're able to snipe Ferrothorn and Heatran. Personally, who gives a shit about Knockoff? I mean, U-Turn. U-Turn's only able to hit opposing Rillaboom. I think Knockoff is pretty cool in that sense. U-Turn is just good because you're able to keep up momentum. I've seen some people forgo Woodhammer entirely. I'm not with that. I like Woodhammer. I want that one-hit KO on Toxapex after Rocks with Adamant Nature. I think Jolly can do it after Rocks with Adamant Nature, but I think Adamant... Yeah, Jolly can do it after Rocks, but Adamant confirms it after Rocks, like 100% of the time. I also do think the Swords Dance set is very, very good, obviously. This is the set I like to run. I like Superpower myself, but a lot of people beat me with Drain Punch a lot because Rillaboom's, like we said, its HP and Phys Def are decent. Spadef is mid, but it's still bulky enough. And then you also got to keep in mind, this shit recovers HP every turn it's in, which is so bullshit. Rillaboom is just an annoying Pokemon to deal with. Really lame pick, really. It's seriously lame. I really don't like this mon too much because it just comes in and it just starts everything just starts going haywire when this guy comes in. But he's kind of the reason that Zapdos and Moltres just have such a stupid high amount of usage. But even +2 knockoff can get rid of those guys. So you just got to knock off one time. Hope you don't get burned. Remove the boots. Get the rocks up. Next time you +2, it's over for them. But yeah, if we want to talk about a defensive guy, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Ferrothorn, who I think has been getting better and better as the metagame progresses. And I think is very good right now. I used to not like spikes too much in the metagame because I was like, who cares about hazards? Everybody runs heavy duty boots. Everybody runs defog. Everybody runs rapid spin. But I do think that spikes are a lot better these days. And Ferrothorn is one of those good Pokemon that has access to knockoff too, which lets it not be a sitting duck versus opposing defensive teams. If you look at my Ferrothorn teams, I have quite a few that I've used. I got this one, Spikes, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Power Whip, just the classic Spadef set, you know. Just switch into the water type moves. It's also able to switch into Spectrier decently with a Spadef spread. I know you don't resist Ghost, but it's very hard to resist Ghost without Dark or normal, right? Other than that, I have this set, again, a Spadef set, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Power Whip. Those are my favorite moves to run. You can definitely run Gyro Ball. I have a few with Gyro Ball because it hits Clefable. I did love this set on Rain. I think this is honestly the best set on Rain. I don't know about double hazards, but you can run whatever. But Chople is definitely the best because you're able to soak the hit from both. Let me find my favorite team that had Ferrothorn. Ah, yes, the Conkeldurr team. That had Chople as well. I really loved using this set, guys, because Chople let me take a hit from Pheromosa and... Oh, Pheromosa at the time, not anymore. But also Urshifu. And I can hit those back with a Power Whip as they take -1 defense and basically be set. But yeah, Ferrothorn is very, very sturdy. Really good Pokemon defensively. Can't say it enough. And it's honestly as good defensively as Rillaboom is offensively, I'd say. I said the support it gives is crazy. Now we're at Electric. I got to give it to my boy Zapdos. I guess we could say stuff like Coco, but I'll get into that later. Let's talk about Zapdos first off. Zapdos is one of the Pokemon that has benefited the most in Gen 8 with all the recent new changes. Beautiful, beautiful stuff was given to this Pokemon. Turned into a complete... It just turned into a complete like beast, right? So first off, we're going to give it its number 1. Heavy duty boots. People don't run other shit. Even the set I was running Sub Roost that would love leftovers, I was running heavy duty boots. There really is no other way to go about it. Pressure is only good in my opinion on the Sub Roost set, but static is what you want to run more often than not because 30% chance to paralyze. It's like this Pokemon has a built-in discharge in its ass. Like, what is this? Wow, that sounds disgusting. My bad. Take it back. Anyway, I'm gonna go discharge, Hurricane, Roost, and then the last move about to be Defog, right? So this is what people run the most. I see Phys Def. To be honest, I see Phys Def the most. I don't really know how much speed you want to run, so I'm literally just gonna go max. Yeah, 295 defense, 384 HP. The defense might seem mid. Like if you think about it in terms of Rillaboom, you'd be like, what? Rillaboom has more HP and more defense. Zapdos isn't that bulky, but static, electric, flying typing, and Roost are like the holy trinity of like godliness. Like this thing becomes broken with these three as a physically defensive mon. It walls everybody in the game with this shit. Like it's great. This mon is such a nice thing to switch into, especially with boots, as long as you don't get it knocked off. You look through the mons on my teams, and there's so many mons it's able to check, like, very easily. Like, people bring this thing in to check Urshifu, and you always got to be wary of going for your physical moves, right? Your contact moves. Because if you get the paralysis, you're fucked. When people use Cinderace, I'm like, you better be careful with that U-turn. You run a Scarf Landorus T, you better be careful with that U-turn, that Swampert flip turn. You got your Buzzwole to check my Urshifu, you better be careful when you click Drain Punch. Like, all that shit is very, very true. And same goes for Moltres, obviously. But yeah, so that's a defensive set. But of course, I got to give credits to the offensive set as well. I mean, I think that shit runs heavy duty boots as well. It's seen on Rain, Thunder, Hurricane, Weather Ball, Roost. This set is absolutely impossible to switch into without Blissey. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to switch into this shit. It's really, really hard to beat, especially with that Weather Ball to clean directly through Heatran, Excadrill, shit like that. The Weather Ball 1 KOs Heatran too in the rain. Like, there's nothing you could do. This shit is so strong. And then Thunder and Hurricane are like, Hurricane lets you just murder Ferrothorn, I like too. But I do want to give a shout out to this set, Sub Roost. I stole this off the ladder from some guy named Bought a Big K, and this set was honestly working like crazy for me. I just ran max special attack. I think, you know, defense is probably decent, or HP invest is probably decent, but I really liked running max special attack. I was able to really solo quite a few offense teams with this, and then static, if you're able to get a para against someone, you can honestly Sub Roost and hack them. But yeah, Zapdos is really the best electric type. Special shots to Coco. I love using its spec set, but we're down to the last 5 typings, guys. Psychic. Now, when it comes to Psychic, there's quite a few different options, right? We have offensive mons like Tapu Lele, Latios, which are very, very scary, and you got defensive mons like, you know, Galar, Slowking, regular Slowbro, stuff like that. But when it comes down to Psychic, I really gotta say that defensively, Slowbro and Slowking are tied, and they take it. Now, I will say offensively, Latios and Tapu Lele are the 2 best Psychic types. I will say they are very scary. Now, I know you're looking at your screen like, what the hell is this? Is this guy telling us 4 Psychic types are the best? No. I just have to keep it a buck, because Latios and Lele are very, very scary in this metagame. I just think Lele is fantastic and as good as Latios. And these do too. Both of these guys use their Psychic move every single time. And they are just very good Pokemon. It's just that Slowbro and Slowking defensively right now in the metagame provide a lot more. I still think Latios and Tapu Lele are just underrated. I think people just don't use them for some reason. Specs on both of these dudes is no drawback. And Latios has busted ass coverage with Draco, Mystical Fire, Aura Sphere, Psychic, Roost, all that shit. But yeah, I had to give a special shout to those 2 because they're fucking broken. Tapu Lele, it's only worth it to use Specs or Taunt Twisted Spoon. But yeah. So Slowbro, the number 1 set everybody's running is Teleport, Future Sight, yeah, Teleport, Future Sight. This is literally it. This is what everybody runs. This is literally the set that everybody runs. Rocky Helmet, Colbur Berry, Leftovers, Heavy Duty Boots. Literally, it's called I'm a Dumbass. That's a hilarious name because you could be a dumbass and you could win with this mon. Future Sight makes it very, very annoying, especially in combination with stupid, cheaper Shifu. Yup, look, this one's Colbur Berry. Same shit. Slack Off, Teleport, Future Sight, Scald. There's really nothing else to run on Slowbro. It's just a nice mon. Soaks up a lot of this strong ground type moves. In the metagame from Landers, Garchomp, that type of shit. It's just able to switch into shit pretty nicely. And regen makes it really easy. I personally like Heavy Duty Boots the most, but I gotta talk about Slowking Galarian form because that guy has done us so much good in videos recently. This is the set I'll be fucking with. 128 HP, 128 SpDef, max special attack, modest. I honestly find this to be the best spread for me. You're still able to retain quite a bit of special defense, but you're also very, very strong. 350 special attack's nothing to fuck with. Like, that's so strong. For example, Timid max special attack Zapdos has 1 point less than Slowking Galar, so you can tell this thing is strong. Hydro Pump is here to hit ground types, but honestly, I like running Flamethrower for Ferrothorn. I think Flamethrower is better. It's just that this team likes Hydro Pump more, but yeah, you always run Future Sight, you always run Sludge Bomb, and then you run Flamethrower, Hydro, Psychic, all that stuff. Saucy Sprite. Love that mon. But yeah. Special shout out to Latios and Tapu Lele. Like I said, their offensive sets are very good, but when it comes down to the best, it's those 2. The Slow Brothers, they got that shit popping. And regular Slowking is ass. And Galarian Slowbro is ass. Just to let you know. Their counterparts, garbage. Ice, Ice, Baby. Now we talk about Ice, Ice, Baby. You don't even have too many Ice types, bro. Like, look at this. You got Weavile and UUBL. We got Mamoswine and Ninetales here. And then we got Kyurem and RUBL. Oh my god. My boy Cloyster and RU. Oh my god. My boy Arctozolt and NUBL. And then none of these are really my boys. All these dudes are actually kind of ass. But if we're being real, Kyurem's the best one. Yeah, he's better than Weavile. He's better than all the guys right now. The reason I can't say Weavile, even though Weavile's in UUBL and this guy's in RUBL, and you'd think, oh, well, Weavile's usage is higher, is because Weavile is just walled by a lot of guys in the metagame right now. It can't beat Clef, can't beat Mag, Ferrothorn fucking you up, Melmetal walling you, even Slowbro walling you after you knock it off. That's not true. If you're banded, you 2-hit KO slow, bro. But it can switch out. Peck's walling you. I mean, yeah, you check Landorus, you check Zapdos, but you can't even go for knockoff in this metagame with all this Moltres, contact shit. So many, I mean, the 2 fairies are still at the top. Feeny walls you. I mean, the 2 monsters at the top completely wall Weavile forever. That's just enough for me to never use it. Kyurem, on the other hand, has access to Ice Beam, Draco, Earth Power, and then last move, I fuck with Flash Cannon a lot. I don't think the sub roost set is worth it anymore. If you ask me, you just go boom. You go Specs or you go Scarf and just start blowing holes up in the opponent's team. Look at this. Specs Ice Beam cleaning up Clef. Mag, I don't see AV as much, but it doesn't matter because you have Earth Power. All these dudes get slaughtered by Specs Kyurem. They all die to the appropriate coverage move. Blissey gets slaughtered by Focus Blast. I think it nearly 2-hit KOs, and I think Modest Focus Blast literally 2-hit KOs Blissey. But again, you have to run Focus Blast, Modest, and hit too, so your odds are like 0. But everybody in this tier gets fucked up by Specs Kyurem. I mean, you run Freeze Dry, actually. You don't run Flash Cannon. It's just an option, I'm saying. Scarf as well. You can run that too, but yeah. Kyurem is really, really good. I really don't have much else to say. I think Kyurem is the best one. I don't think Mamoswine, Weavile, any of them are on par. I would not even talk about Mamoswine. I'd sooner talk about Arctozolt, because in the hail, I think that thing is such a big-ass threat, but yeah. Next, we have Dragon. Now, when it comes to Dragon, right, there's so many different dragons, right? Now, normally, I would say the boy who puts on the best for the dragons is Garchomp right now, right? And if you go through the dragons in OU, we have so many, because I wasn't lying when I said that dragons are back. Dragons have everything in control. And these are all 600 BSTs. It's like, damn, who do we pick? Well, we're going to strike out Dragonite because he's not even good. Hydreigon is really, really good, but it doesn't really take advantage of his dragon typing. I don't see no Draco Chomps anymore. I see all this Dark Pulse, Earth Power, defensive bullshit. Dragapult, who definitely takes advantage with Dragon Darts and Draco. And then you have Latios as well, who takes advantage with Draco, Psychic, all that good stuff. But when it comes to pure dragon type, it's Dragapult, bro. He is still the one. He is still the one. Special shots to Latios, but no, it is Dragapult. He's the one. He is the dragon type. When it comes down to it, I think Scarf is the best set in today's metagame. I say you go with Infiltrator. Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, U-turn, and the last move can either be Thunderbolt, Fire Blast, whatever you want to run. This is just a good revenge killer, right? This thing has never been bad at revenge killing. In fact, Scarf Pult has always been a staple. People have just not been using it lately. We saw that 6%, and even my teams don't be using it lately, but you don't want to disrespect it. It's not a bad mon. You look through some of these teams, I can't really switch into Specs Shadow Ball with a lot of these. Specs Draco, that shit is strong. Like, look at Crazy, for example. This team doesn't exactly switch into Specs Pult. Specs Pult's a big-ass threat to this team with Shadow Ball. I can't go Diggersby on Shadow Ball each time. And I can't go fucking Slowking. It's weak to it. So, you gotta think about it. Like, it's definitely able to retain a threat. Look at Specs versus this team. It's not a bad Pokemon. It's really not a bad Pokemon. It's just Spectrier has taken over the hype. But you gotta remember, that thing Specs set, it has access to Draco and Fire Blast and all that stuff. I will say this, Specs, Dragapult is literally incapable of being a bad mon if you ask me. I really think so. This team, for example, gets washed by fucking Spectrier, but it also gets washed by Dragapult. So it's just, Dragapult is still really, really good, even if people are using it less. I love Choice Specs. I love Choice Scarf. If you're running Specs, don't run U-turn. That's pussy shit. Run T-Boulder. Hydro Pump is your last. I want to experiment with Hydro Pump for T-Tars and shit, but whatever. It actually gets, I think it gets Surf, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's probably a safer bet. And it hits Heatran. Wait, this shit is probably crazy strong. But I do like T-Bow for being able to hit Mandibuzz. So yeah, you gotta mix and match with it. It's hard to find what you want. But we can also say that the Dragon Dart set is very, very good too. I do think Dragon Darts with Dragon Dance is really, really strong. People like to run what? Steel Wing and Phantom Force. I've seen some Sub, which is also really hard to beat. You just run Max Attack, Max Speed. This shit's really hard to beat. Darts is really good too. This thing does have a really good attack stat. Its special attack is always mediocre, but that physical attack stat is great. So, and Dragon Darts is just nice. I think that thing is really, really good. I mean, this was our Dragon Sweeper. Previous to Garchomp scale shotting it up, this was our dude. This was the one that took advantage. This was really the Dragon Dancer. I really love him. I think he's great. Gen 6 and Gen 7, Dragonite DD was ass, and it's ass now too. Dragonite's not good. That shit fell off. I only think defensive is like okay. But yeah, when it comes to Dragon, is Dragapult. We talk about Dark. Now, this is the only time I'll cheat, right? Because there's really no contest. There's really no contest. You go to Dark types. You go to OU. We got 4 of these, right? It's no 4 of these. It's Urshifu. But I can't go with Urshifu, man. I want to cheat so bad and say it's Urshifu. However, Hydreigon really does be moving as a dark type right now. Everybody's running this stupid defensive set with max speed, max HP, but somehow it's so hard to beat. It's hilarious. So I've seen a lot of these lately. Roost, Earth Power, Defog, Dark Pulse. And then I've seen like other versions like not Defog, Nasty Plot, and just defensive as hell. This set is cool because you're able to completely wall Spectrier. I think that's really, really cool with the max speed. Some people even run heavy Spadef. I haven't even used Hydra lately, I feel like. Let me see. Do I have any Hydra teams? This is Scarf. Yeah, this one's Scarf. Damn, I just want to see if I have any Hydra teams I can show you guys. See, I don't even use Hydra. My last team is in Gen 7. But yeah, people aren't really running Nasty Plot offensive anymore because they just prefer it to other mons, which is fair. But Hydreigon has a good speed stat. It's 1 faster than Urshifu, so that's something to think about as well. Like I said, Urshifu Dark type, yes. With Wicked Blow, that shit is broken. So I literally can't not mention it because offensively, it is the best Dark type. I'm not going to lie and say that Hydreigon is. But defensively, Hydreigon does take advantage of its Dark type. It's able to wall. But even then, like, I'm really just putting Hydreigon to have something different. If we're being real about the shit, it's Urshifu, guys. Urshifu is the best Dark type. But special shout out to Hydreigon. It might impress some of y'all. Run that Nasty Plot offensive. And when we go to Fairy, dun dun dun, the last one, bro. Who else could it be besides the Chief? The bastard. The number one. The one who is here to just annoy you for days. The one with 1 million different viable sets. Moonblast, Soft Boiled, Calm Mind, Wish, Stealth Rock, Protect, Teleport, Knockoff, T-Wave, Trick, Aromatherapy, Heal Bell, Flamethrower, Thunder. Brother, there are too many options. Look at the teammates he's seen with. Pex, Heatran, Mandibuzz, Broken Ass Nidoking for no reason. Blissy's bitch ass so they can teleport back and forth. Slowbro, oh my, I'm telling you. Items, Leftovers, Heavy Duty Boots on the Unaware, Helmet for the Urshifus and U-Turners, Life Orb, Trick Flamethrower, some other shit. But yeah, Pex, when it comes down to it, guys, he's the best fairy. Special shout outs to Magearna, but no, when it comes down to being a straight up fairy, nobody moves like Clefable. It is the GOAT. It's the GOAT of every gen. This is my favorite set this right now. I like running Helmet. Knockoff or T-Wave, whichever one you want to run is good. I also really, really love Trick Sticky Barb. I know some people don't like that set, but no, this set is absolutely great. T-Wave, Moonblast, Trick, Soft Boiled, you're able to get rid of so many mons that really need their leftovers and switch into Clefable. There are a lot of Pokemon that think that if they get knocked off, it's fine, but if they get Trick to Barb, they're so screwed. Pex, Heatran, all that shit. You get Trick to Barb, you're done, you're done. And Clefable is able to literally solo them. So, yeah, Trick Barb is crazy. What is this one? Stealth Rock, Soft Boiled, Moonblast, Knockoff. I do got to give a special shout out to Wish, Teleport, obviously, but I don't really run Wish Teleport as much these days, I feel like. Yeah, most of mine are just Stealth Rock Helmet. I really don't be running Wish Teleport that much, but it's still really good. I just want to scroll down and see if I even have. Damn, did I like get rid of all my teams with Clef? Damn, I'm too real. Where the hell is my... Oh, I think this one's Teleport. No, even this is Trick, Flame, or Stealth Rock, but you get the point. Clef defensively is my favorite. People love running Calm Mind, and I will say Calm Mind is still good. Like, Calm Mind defensive would sweep this team, for example. Calm Mind Thunder, that shit would sweep this, but you get the point. Yeah, you gotta run Thunder, though, on Calm Mind, because you gotta be able to beat Heatran, and that's the only way to do it. Calm Mind, though, it suffers some competition from other shit, but Clef is one of those mons that, even though it's so defensively oriented, after some Calm Minds, it feels like the strongest mon on the field, right? And it's still able to check so many of these guys. Look at the Dark Dragon and Ice type. All those guys getting boned by Clefable. That's one of the reasons Slowking is so good, because it's one of the few guys that can check Clefable decently. But that is going to be the list, guys, from the top down, normal, all the way down to fairy. So yes, that is that. A pretty nice 1 hour video. Had a blast doing this. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought, what you agree, disagree with, all that stuff. I think these types of competitive discussion videos are always good, and when other YouTubers do them, competitive Pokemon YouTubers do them as well, it's great because it's like you get everybody's insights. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Like I said, guys, the Agency Vintage 2020 campaign is here only until January 2nd, and free shipping to all US consumers, until the 21st. So go check that out. We got hoodies, t-shirts, all that stuff, and the stock is limited, so go get that before it sells out. You can see we already sold out, and some XXL for this and that. So yeah, go check that out right now. Like I said, free shipping for Americans. Thank you guys for showing love, and see you guys soon. Peace.